I'm 30 today. The big 3-0. Or I guess I should say yesterday, the 27th of July. Hey everybody, I'm your host Kris, K-R-I-S. And I turned 30 yesterday, man. I turned 30. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Welcome to a new decade of me. And if you're not new to my channel, welcome back. I hope you are enjoying this podcast and every other podcast that has to come in the future and has come in the past. This is episode 6, I believe. And if you enjoy it, then please press the like button because it is very important and helps the channel grow. And there's a seagull on a ceiling across the street. Hey, dude. Oh, he's gone. But yeah, I turned 30 yesterday. And yes, I finally did it. If you're new to my channel, you might be a little surprised to hear this. But the last few weeks I've been going on a rant. I've been going on several rants, and I've been doing it for many, many years. But yes, you are guessing it right if you have been keeping up with my journey. It concludes today with my phone being obtained. This is the very first phone I've ever owned in my entire life. I've never had a phone before. This is it. I have avoided phones like the plague. I am not a social person. I do not like talking to people on phones. The text, by the way, as this is my first phone, I'm telling you, this touchscreen shit is not a substitute for a keyboard. A keyboard like that's down there, no matter how cheap, will always be better. This is some slow crap right here. You might be thinking, oh, you just got to get faster with it, Kris. No, slow and easy to mess up with. You see all these comments. I read all these comments. You know, I'm a YouTuber. I'm a scummy YouTuber. I make videos on the internet like some kind of weirdo. And I'm a Twitch streamer where I'm live playing video games talking about my diet. Right? And I'm reading into comments. And some dude be like, I had Weetabix for dinner, or cornflakes or something weird. And they'll spell corn with like a Z. You know, you're looking at it and you're like, why the hell are you spelling corn with a Z? It's a C, you idiot. And he'll be like, oh, sorry, I got fat fingers. Or, oops, autocorrect, or some other stuff. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, fix your shit, man. Last night, when I was testing the internet on that thing, I went to Twitch, watching someone playing Tekken 7, the greatest game of the PlayStation 4 era, easily, because the gameplay's that good. But was watching someone play Tekken 7, decided to go into the chat, because I like to be vocal in the chat room. I like to talk to people, see how they're all going and stuff like that. You know, give them a self-esteem boost. I very quickly realized I didn't like that. Took like 30 seconds to write 3 words, and I messed up like every second letter nearly. You know, you try to type fast, doesn't work. You gotta focus. You gotta really focus on what you're doing. It's not like a keyboard where you're staring at the screen and you're like this, you know. You don't have to look down too often. Maybe glance every now and then. No, you're like this. Oh, backspace, my bad. Oh, I have to use capital letters again and an apostrophe. Oh, this shit is slow. No wonder none of y'all use capital letters. No wonder none of y'all use a period and exclamation points and all that, man. It's work to type all that out. It's work. This thing right here, this is a job. Who told me this was going to be a job? You could have warned me. But I guess I had to get one. Because society is what rules. Society is what makes the rules and judges what comes next in life. Without the mass opinion of people voting with their wallet that they want phones in the world, let me fix this a little bit, I wouldn't need this. If society didn't get so anal and paranoid about being able to get in contact with people 24/7, I wouldn't have to get that. we live in a world today where if someone wants to hang out with you, they won't knock on your front door, man. In fact, I have heard people say they would find that weird. Dude, if you're my friend and you knock on my door, I'll be annoyed. Not because you didn't text me, but because you didn't just walk in the door. If we are already friends, just walk in, be like, hey, what's up, man? You alright? Jerking off? Yeah. Yeah, I like that shit. Leaving your window open? You know? Just walk in. Forget about it. But we're living in a society, it's like you gotta text people. Give them a heads up. Since when? We're living in a society where the boss wants to be in contact with you 24/7. Hey, it's 2:45 a.m. Do you got that report ready for Tuesday? It's like, bitch, I was asleep and it's a Thursday, man. What the fuck? You know, fire me. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? It's like we live in a society that determines how we should go. And honestly, I'm punk rock. I gotta say it. I want to be the outcaster. I want to be the outcast of life if this is the world we live in. However, I'm conforming because I'm sick of being called old. I'm sick of being left in the cold. I'm sick of it all. I gotta give in. And at least the camera is damn pretty. In fact, damn, the first thing that happened was my self-esteem got punched in the gut. I opened that camera and man, I don't look too good, dude. That, like, you're looking this smooth white stuff coming down the top of my head here, this shine, this glow. Dude, when I looked at the camera, it was like this. It was awful. I looked like death. And I stood back and I was like, no, I cannot believe it. I was messing around with the settings, trying to smooth that out. I'm heartbroken, man. Because I don't know how you see me in person. Are people seeing this shiny gloss that the camera that I'm using right now is showing? Or are they seeing the camera over here and what that is shown? Which one is the real me to the naked eye? Because if it's that one, there's a reason I don't got a ring on this finger, man. There's a reason. You know? If that's the answer, then that's the answer. I won't be shocked. Gotta tell you that. Fuck. I can only imagine what 60-year-olds think when they look into a camera phone. Damn. It was harsh. It was so cruel. But, you know, whatever. At least I can take a picture outside of a green background for a while. What else, man? My birthday, I got a little cake. Little pretty cake. It was nice, very kind of my loved ones. I appreciate it. And overall, you know, I got some nice clothing. I like it. It was a humble, fun, and happy birthday because it was one with my family. And family is the most important thing in the entire world to me. So that is great. It looks like I have some neck muscles going on right now, but I don't. It's the t-shirt trying to make me look good. Look at it. It's popped up, but in reality, it's down here. Yeah, let's put it back up. Let's not ruin the illusion. Anyway, other than that, what's been going on in my mind? You know, I'm kind of tired. I'm kind of tired. I had a full night's sleep, and I had a full night's sleep, and I had a nap this morning, and I'm still tired. The 30s are hitting me hard. I need 2 naps a day now. But other than that, I've been in a zone where I am thinking back on the last 10 years and what games and movies and life changes have went down that shaped me into the person I am today. And you know what? A lot of y'all are the reason for that, man. That's the truth. A lot of y'all are the reason. Some of the conversations I've had with you over the years, some of the moments we shared together, and just making these videos and these streams and stuff have all joined forces to become a megazord of change for me. I mean, that's the weird thing about being a internet, what do they call them now? What's a new buzzword? Influencer. That's the weird thing about that, because you're influencing people, supposedly, but you're ever changing. So if someone watches an old video of me from 3 years ago playing a video game talking crap, and they're like, Kris, I agree with everything you said. Community is the best TV show ever. Now I'm sitting here going, damn, Community had like 2 good seasons. Season 3 was alright. Season 4 was forgettable, and I didn't even finish the last 2 seasons. I watched like 4 or 5 episodes of season 5, and I dropped the show. So, people change. And when you're recording your life, which is basically what I'm doing, this is some big brother stuff I'm inflicting upon myself. And when you're recording your life, you're giving people opinions and giving people a side of you that is ever changing, but because it's in video form and audio form, it's captured in time. It's weird. So you could say something and regret it, or you could say something and just change your mind. And people will remember it, and people will never see you as different, even if you are, because those videos still exist. So over the last 10 years, I'm thinking, what have I changed most? How have I changed the most, I should say? And I'm definitely more confident. I think that's definitely the thing. I'm more confident. I'm happier. In the best shape of my life. Definitely in the best shape of my life. And overall, I feel more complete. You ever feel that? You ever feel incomplete, like you're missing something? Maybe a bolt or a wire is loose. But I feel really damn good these days, and I'm definitely thankful to everybody for that. And it's a wonderful feeling. If I had to give anybody advice on what to do if you're still young, or even today if you're 58 years old, 100 years old, there's never a time that's too early, I would say get off your ass and do it. I've had so many ideas and dreams. I'm a procrastinator, man. I'll sit down and I'll daydream. I'm not lazy. I'm just someone who overthinks on everything. I'll overthink on every little detail. And before I know it, it's been too long, and I could have jumped on it sooner and got it done if I just did it. Or someone else has stolen my idea, and now, oh, look at that. The square wheel has been invented. The guy's a billionaire. That was my idea. Everyone was sick of these round wheels. I invented a square wheel, and now nobody's giving me money for my awesome idea because I didn't jump on it soon enough. So, maybe you'll invent a new form of mouthwash that regrows teeth. That'd be fucking crazy. But you gotta get off your ass and do it. So if there's anything I learned in my 20s, is that I'd be sitting here too much thinking to myself, that's a great idea. Let me write down all these thoughts and just reread them over and over again, but not do anything about it for a couple more months. It's like, it's not good. You're smart. You're a smart person. You're a smart person. Even if you think you're not a smart person, you're probably not. But most of you are smart people. Don't forget that other guy. Leave him alone. But most of you are smart people, and you have ideas, and you have dreams, and you can reach for them. Just get off your ass. So that's probably the biggest thing I learned in the 20s. That, and family is way more important than you realize, man. If you don't got a good relationship with your parents, you got to fix that. Unless they're like seriously messed up, then I don't got experience in that area. But for the most part, I getting closer with the family was definitely vital to me. But overall, I look back with fond memories, and I look into the future with even fonder ones. I don't know what will come of me. I don't know what I'll do. I do know that everything we do has a time limit, no matter what it is. Who knows if I'll still be making videos a year from now? Maybe I won't. I mean, everyone else seems to be retiring for one reason or another. Everyone I grew up idolizing. Freaking, what's her name? Not angry girl. What's her name? Crazy ex-girlfriend or some overly attached girlfriend. She had some tough times, and she's retired from YouTube. And there's like 9 or 10 others that I have somehow outlasted, that were extremely popular or just a big influence on my life, and they've all moved on to do other things. So who knows where I'll be soon? Who knows what I'll be doing? All I gotta say is right now, at this exact time in the universe, I am so happy and excited to see what's to come next. Hopefully I get to keep more of my hair, hopefully I can get to keep some more of my hair and I don't go completely bald by the time I'm 40. But other than that, it's all good. But getting off that. Today's going to be a pretty short podcast because I'm tired. But getting off that, I've left my JRPG mood. I've been in one for the last few months. Final Fantasy I've talked about a lot. Now I'm moving back to my love of horror. I'm moving back to the idea of having so much fear in me that I need to take a shower as soon as I finish playing a video game. Now, what makes a good horror movie? I don't know, man. I don't know. What makes a good video game horror? I don't know. I got some ideas, like the protagonist has to be weak. The protagonist has to be small and short and fragile, because let's look at Michael Myers for a second. The dude's 5'9". He ain't got anything going for him. His victims, Halloween, the movie that's been praised upon as one of the greatest horror movies of all time. His victims are 16-year-old babysitter, and they're girls. 16-year-old babysitting girls. Not meant to be offensive. I apologize to any girls out there, any women out there. You guys can kick ass. Don't worry about it. But fact of the matter is this. It doesn't look too good for a dude who's trying to be a badass serial killer when all he targets is 16-year-old girls who are babysitting a 5-year-old girl. You know what I mean? So you got this dude who kills one dude from a surprise attack also when he wasn't looking, while he was drinking milk or something. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, what makes a good horror movie? Why isn't this horror movie compelling to me? Something that people praise. Well, I guess the immersion was broken. So I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, all right, well, he kills one dude who's also a high schooler. This is America, right? What if this high schooler wasn't hit by a surprise attack? What if he seen Michael Myers coming at him, walking down the hallway? Yeah, he has a knife. He still has a knife. But instead of that just being a 16, 17-year-old high schooler, what if he is a high schooler that does amateur wrestling? I mean, it is the US. You have wrestling in schools all the time, right? You have a whole program for it. So you got this top star high school wrestling champion, or someone who just does it. And you have skinny ass Michael Myers, who's been in a straitjacket for 20 years and barely knows how to use a knife. And I'm supposed to be afraid of this guy? You know what I mean? You see where I'm coming from? So it's very difficult to scare me because my brain doesn't allow the immersion to kick in too often, and it's very easy to kick it out. Video games is a little different because you're in control, and they tend to do better with making the enemies a little bit more feisty. But one movie that has always stood out to me, and everyone has this one film that scares them, or maybe you're trying to be a badass. Horror movies don't scare me, Kris. I'm not a little child. You're 30 years old and a horror movie still scares you? My gosh. I don't say God when I say my God, because I was raised right, Kris. I was raised right, you millennial. That's how I picture some people when they're trying to be badasses. Either really young or really old. But Blair Witch Project. That's the horror movie that scares me. Let me explain why. Blair Witch Project, first off, the victims, they're older, but they're vulnerable for many different reasons. They're lost, they are hungry, they're thirsty, they're scared, and they're tired. So mentally and physically, they're getting fatigued slowly. So while you're watching the movie, and it's a pretty long movie, I think, while you're watching the movie, you're getting fatigued, watching them get fatigued. It's kind of bouncing off you, you know? So it's building up. I love the Blair Witch Project. Great movie. Especially when you don't watch it all the time. Watch it once every 2 years or 3 years, and it'd be great. So their fatigue is bouncing off of you. You start to feel it. Next thing is the unknown. So you got Michael Myers with a mask. Who cares? You see his body. Some skinny little guy. Who cares? Whatever. You got Jason with his mommy issues from a lake. Like, what is that? You even got Freddy Krueger, who again, some skinny guy with knives. But this, you don't see it. You don't know what's going on. They talk about this evil witch. You talk about the lore of what this entity has done. Makes people stand in the corner before killing them. Creepy. But there's mystery there. Nothing is scary when the mystery is revealed. It's only scary when the mystery remains. And they kept the mystery throughout. You never see the enemy. All you know is people get messed up. And that scares me. Because Michael Myers, I kick his ass. Or maybe he kicked my ass. It doesn't matter. Fact of the matter is this. You have a chance against that dude. Blair Witch Project, not so much. You're just going to get hit in the head and dead. Or perhaps there is some kind of mind melting going down or something. You know, some weird stuff. It's very strange. It's very mysterious. There's a lot of unknown. So, Blair Witch Project is my favorite horror movie of all time. And I adore it. It is without a doubt and without question the scariest one that gets underneath my skin. Now, these days, of course, you go back to this phone and you're like, hey, I can make the Blair Witch Project with this right now. I just need to go into a field and be like, oh, whoa, did you see that? Throw a rock. Did you hear that? Oh, one man crew. You got it down. But you don't got it right. It doesn't mean you're going to get it right. You know what I mean? And one of the other aspects I love of this that probably wouldn't happen today on that scale is that it is all real. The trees are real. The grass is real. The water is real. The bushes are real. The people are real. The backgrounds are real. The sky is real. There's no CGI. There's no what do they use these days instead of puppets? Is it just CGI? Have we gotten to the point where it's only CGI? There's no weird filters over the screen. There's nothing. It looks normal. And the realism of that adds to it. Now, if this was made today, it'd be a little different. They'd probably see the witch coming at them, and it looked like some kind of puppeteer or something. It looked like Iron Man, you know? She's flying towards you. It looked cool, but there's always something off about it. And I know a lot of people love CGI, but to me, even good CGI to me looks like the Matrix Reloaded Neo versus Army of Agent Smith's PS2 cutscene. You know, no matter how good it gets, it always looks that. Maybe someday it'll be different, but Blair Witch Project is real twigs. that dirt on the ground, you put it in your mouth. Yep, that's the taste of worm, all right. That's a real worm, and it feels good. So you're sitting back and you're watching these events unfold. You know it's a movie. You know it's scripted. You know it's acted. But the fear and the loneliness comes true because what they're doing is real. Now, I don't know how close they really were to a town. Maybe it was their garden. Maybe it was their backyard, you know? And you turn the camera this way and you see McDonald's. In fact, I've had moments like that in real life where I was trying to take pictures of cool stuff at graveyards and trees, because I live in Ireland and there's a lot of like land everywhere. And I was trying to take this picture of a cool gravestone, right? And I couldn't get it right. Not because the angle was bad, but because no matter what the angle was, McDonald's big ass sign down the street was shown. So you had this sexy ass, creepy sunset imagery I'm trying to fix up with McDonald's in the way, and it hurt. So maybe the Blair Witch Project was next to McDonald's. Who knows? It's all about what you see in this small screen and what they're focused on. But yeah, that's my favorite horror movie. And so many horror movies get it wrong because they try to make it about the monster instead of about the people. Whereas Blair Witch Project is all about the people being freaked out, and then the movie ends, you know? So you got like what? You got what other horror movies are out there? You got The Exorcist. I mean, come on, man. The Exorcist. You want to be honest with me and say that's your scariest movie? If it is, it's cool. Tell me. I want the truth. But to me, The Exorcist is a little chicken shit who attacks and possesses a 12-year-old girl. I'm meant to be afraid of that. I'm meant to be afraid of that demon. Yes, throw someone through a window or gives them a heart attack or something. But 99% of the movie tied down to a bed. I'm gonna vomit on you. Don't mess with me. I'm not just a demon. I'm Satan himself. Top tier. Okay, so that's Satan himself. So the weaker demons are like, what now? They're just like straight up trash. Like, what's going on in that situation? But again, at least the visuals are cool. Grudge is cool. I like the Grudge. The Ring is cool, especially the end when it crawls through the TV. Like those kind of horror movies, those are cool. There's actually this. It's actually not that good. I forget the name of it, but it's a Japanese one. It's in subs. People start dying for no reason, and they start putting red X's on their doors because if you go into the houses that have red, the concept is scary. So people are dying world over. They're just dying. They're like disappearing, dying. You know, like they're just becoming ghosts basically. And there's people putting red X's on the doors of the people who died because if you go in there, it's like apathy or depression or the evil gets inside you and you just mysteriously die too. You just like turn to ash or something. And like the whole movie is very slow. It's not a very good film. The concept is better than the execution, but it really gets to you at some points. You know, it's like really just reaches underneath. And by the end of the film, it's like everyone's basically dead and just like 2 or 3 survivors, and it's just creepy. So the concept is good, but the writing isn't there. But it does nail several of the elements that I like. The enemy is mostly unknown. The reason isn't given. Now, sometimes I do prefer the reason being given. Like The Last of Us, the video game, I want to know why the world's gone to hell. I want to know the origin. But that's probably because I kind of see, as much as it's scary, I kind of see it as an action, story-driven game. So I want answers. Whereas if it was more of a supernatural unknown entity like Silent Hill, I'm not looking into the backstory of Silent Hill to find out every detail on that. I'm fine with it just being a creepy ass mysterious town. But with movies, it's so much harder. Like sometimes you have a horror movie that just makes you feel like it's a badass film instead. Like Ginger Snaps. If you haven't seen Ginger Snaps, go see it. It's about a werewolf. It's really cool. But that's less horror and cool late 90s indie movie starring goth teenage girls. You know, like that's badass to me. Hell yeah. Scream is a slasher flick. Not really a horror movie. It's very character heavy, you know. It's interesting. You want to see what the characters are up to. In these kind of movies, when the characters are dying, it kind of makes the movies less interesting because you like the characters. You're not just there for knife fodder. So yeah, Blair Witch Project right now is the only one that's ever made me love it as a horror movie and respect it. And even though there's other movies out there that try to copy it, like Paranormal Activity and stuff, you know, it's just not good, man. Paranormal Activity, girl walks up the stairs and kidnaps the baby, flings the mother across the street or something with his eyes. You know, it's always about some weird old cult. You know, like what is that? Like it goes back to The Enemy, doesn't it? A couple of old women in a cult are scary. I'm meant to be afraid of an 80-year-old grandmother because she worships Satan. Like, what? If I start stomping on your skull like you're a trampoline. Satan's gonna come out of the closet. Hey, how dare you? She's my favorite human. Rawr. You know, it's like no, man. You gotta summon him first. You know, and while you're doing that, I'm gonna be like, you know, you're not scary. The unknown is scary. But that's horror movies. Games is a different breed altogether. Because games, they put you in that world. They mold you. They break you down. They make you play as someone who's worthless. You know? Like Miku from Project Zero. Little high school girl who's really stupid and runs very slow and has buggy animations. But the game is great and it's horrifying. And has all these ghosts and demons, and it's like, here's the concept of Project Zero. You're in a world, you're in a house filled, it's like you're on your own, but you're surrounded by basically a small army of demonic, corrupted ghosts who in life were scumbags to begin with. And no matter how many times you fight them off, the same ones are going to come back for you. They're constantly watching you. And you fall asleep at weird points in the middle of the whole courtyard leading to the house. And you can be jumped at any moment. I mean, you could just hop the wall and leave. But you're looking for your brother and you love him and all that. And it's like, that's creepy. Because it's not Michael Myers walking towards you looking like an idiot in a janitor's suit, you know? It's a whole militia of demonic beings. And that's where video games really step it up. You know, you're like, oh, now I'm in for it. What's my weapon? A camera. You know? Or Silent Hill. What's my weapon? A stick. You know, maybe I have a 9mm gun or a rifle, but for the most part, you got a stick. You know, it feels good. It gets underneath your skull and seeps into your brain. I love that so much. Hell yeah. Man, I'm getting hyped just thinking about it. I'm really in a horror mood right now. Just you wait. I have some of these games are to come. But did you have other games like Siren Blood Curse? Not touching it, at least not anytime soon. Where a bunch of enemies that don't even stay dead long are constantly out to kill you and screeching in Japanese, and there's weird nurses. And why are nurses always scary? They're supposed to be helpful, you know? But in horror, they're always terrifying. Horror video games are brilliant. Horror movies are ass. For every Blair Witch Project, there's like, what is there? You know, you got Jason, some big dude who doesn't talk because he's stupid. Or here's an example. You got stupid characters who don't make the enemy, don't make the evil villain scary. They diminish the evil villain's threat because they're just stupid. And they still win in the end. Best example of this is Nightmare on Elm Street. I actually like that movie. It's filmed really beautifully. It looks nice. The main character is cool, even though she's stupid. The concept of the villain is actually scary. So here's what Freddy Krueger is in Nightmare on Elm Street. Freddy Krueger is, first off, he's a dead pedophile. But he is a supernatural being. He's like a ghost, but he's trapped in a dimension where he's only able to affect you in your sleep. So whenever you fall asleep, he can drag you into his nightmare world where he's basically God and he can do whatever he wants. So immediately you're screwed. You got no chance, right? So he's killing all these teenagers with these claws he has on his fingers. This glove with like blades attached. You know, he never has to shave. Plus he's burned, so he can't grow any hair back. But he drags you into this dream dimension, and that's where he kills you. And if you die in the dream, you die in real life. And the whole movie's all these teenagers going, dude, we gotta find a way to defeat Freddy Krueger. he's out to kill us all. And the girl's like, oh, you're right. Okay, here's the plan, right? Here's the plan. You all gotta pay attention. Here's the plan. I'm gonna go to sleep. Here's the plan. I'm gonna go to sleep. And the dude's like, whoa, but if you go to sleep, he's gonna drag you into the dream world and kill you. Hold on. I'm gonna go to sleep. Then he's gonna drag me into his dream world and I'll kick his ass. And they're like, oh, that's a great idea. Let's do that. You just have to kick his ass. It's like, yeah. So they go, right? They go to her room. If you haven't seen the movie, this is spoiling everything. Go watch it. It's great. They go to her room. She's like, okay, I'm going to go to sleep now, right? I'm going to go to sleep. But you have to stand over me. And if you see me jittering, you have to wake me up because it means I'm losing and I'm going to die. And the dude's like, right. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I'll be here. I'll watch you. Yeah, girl, you gonna wear that lingerie to bed, though? You gonna wear that lingerie? Yeah, you wear. And she's like, okay, I'm going to sleep. Don't try anything funny. I'm gonna go to sleep. And she goes to sleep. She goes into Freddy Krueger's world. Freddy Krueger's like, hey man, you're back. Man, I got the claws for you. I'm about to kick your ass. I tried to get you in the bathtub earlier on, but your legs were a little too tight. You know what I mean? So she's like fighting Freddy Krueger and she nearly dies and she manages to wake herself up, I believe, by burning her hand or something off a pipe. And she wakes up and realizes her friend who was meant to watch her fell asleep too. And you're like, dude, you're an idiot. Meanwhile, while these stupid teenagers, they're teenagers, they're supposed to be stupid. While these stupid teenagers are being stupid, their parents are being even dumber because they don't believe the kids. Because why would you? Supernatural being in your dreams? Not. It's a normal murder. We're going to sort it out. They're going around arresting innocent dudes thinking they're the killer. Even though the killer killed himself, or Freddy Krueger killed the killer who wasn't really the killer. And the cops are still like, well, maybe he's still the killer though. So the dude who fell asleep that was meant to watch the girl, played by Johnny Depp, he goes to his own house, he falls asleep again, and he dies, right? So Johnny Depp dies. And he's right across the street from the girl, the main character. So he's dead, and the cops are in his house looking at all the blood and going, damn, yeah, he's dead, all right. He's dead. Blood's on the ceiling, blood's on the walls, blood's everywhere. He's dead. Meanwhile, the girl decides to go back into the dream herself. And her idea is to grab Freddy and pull him out of the dream world. You with me so far? Her idea is to go to sleep into his dimension, grab onto him, wake herself up by burning herself again or something. So when she wakes up, he is now in the real world. So it's reversed in his power. He drags in, she drags out. So she does that, and it's a success. She drags Freddy Krueger into the real world. Yeah, you're still a 16-year-old girl, and that guy has claws on his hand, man. So she starts smashing at the window. She's like, help me, to the cops across the street, because they're investigating Johnny Depp's murder. There's like 50 cops across the street. She's like, help me. The killer is in my room, my bedroom. He's right there. The killer is in my bedroom trying to kill me. Help me. This is the cops. Hey, isn't that the chief's daughter over there smashing on the window? She seems a little upset. Tony, come over here for a second. Does this girl over there, does the chief's daughter look a little upset to you? She seems to be screaming and crying and banging the windows. It's like, damn, John. She does look a little upset. Maybe she's sad her friend died. Go back to bed, girl. We're trying to investigate your friend's murder. And she's like screeching and screaming. And this goes on for like 3 minutes. And then they're like, okay, let's get her dad and see what he got to say about it. Meanwhile, while they slowly walk into the house to get the dad, she's fighting Freddy Krueger all by her lonesome in this big ass house that has barred windows and locked doors. And she kicks his ass. She does all the work and kicks his ass. The cops run over 15 feet, dude. 15 feet. I mean, literally from sidewalk to sidewalk is maybe the length of this wall to this wall. You know? And it's like 15 feet and they come in. And what it boils down to is, while it's a fun movie, the idiocy of the characters does not make the villain stronger. It makes them weaker, which is the opposite of what you get with many horror games. So Freddy Krueger is like, I'm killing all these people. But only because the people are so dumb. They're so dumb. Whereas you play Silent Hill, and they go for this kind of creepy crap that you can't defeat because it keeps coming at you. You know, video game resets the room, more enemies. But now it's going for like psychological. You don't really know what's beyond the darkness or the next door. You don't really know how to fight the next enemy. Maybe you'll run away, maybe you'll try to stay and fight. The music will get to you, the animation creepiness will get to you, the sound effects will get to you, and you have a limited health so you can actually die. Whereas in the movies, you know how it's going to play out. Either the main character is going to die in the very end, or it's going to save the day. But you know how it's going to play out. In a game, you can die at any moment. So it builds up and it crushes you. And that's why horror games, on average, are so much scarier than horror movies on average. Because even if the characters are dumb, you're taking control of it. And you can die 5 minutes into it, making you the dumb one. And guess who's not so dumb anymore? The one who lasted longer. The main character in the story. I want to do a quick hard cut and show you guys the trailer to Fatal Frame 3. Now, the reason I want to show you this is because I was just talking about Freddy Krueger. And it's kind of the same concept in that while Freddy Krueger is supernatural in that he goes into a dream world and he can be killed if you drag him out of it, this story is supernatural in that you get dragged into a dream world that's also a real world that's also filled with ghosts that can come into the real world and kill you. Basically, it's Nightmare on Elm Street times 10, and I've never played this game, or I've yet to play this game. I will totally be getting to it at some point, but this game has always, the concept has always freaked me out so much, and I've put it off for years. So just watching, I might not even watch this entire trailer, but let's just see a few minutes of it. And let me extend this image a little bit more. All right, Fatal Frame 3. Already creeping me out, man. Man, they don't even give me subtitles. PS2 horror games, dude. Look at that. The atmosphere, the aesthetic of the backgrounds alone. Oh, hell no. Hell no. Oh. See, like, when they make the weapon a camera, isn't that so much scarier than, like, a gun? Like, with movies, it's usually running away and throwing cups or something, you know? Ah, fuck all that, dude. Damn, man. You have to hide. Just picture that for a second. A ghost is in your house looking for you, and you're hiding in like a closet or something. Hell no. That is Nightmare on Elm Street on crack. on crack. This is why it took me into my 20s to play these games. I spent so many years too scared to even consider this. And it's just something you gotta it's something you gotta conquer. It really is. It's something you gotta conquer, because otherwise it's gonna hound you forever when you're staring at this kind of beast and you know that you want to, but you're just too scared to do. That to me right there, that concept written right and directed right, that could make a movie, because they follow the themes that I like of what the Blair Witch Project does, which is my favorite horror movie. The main character is vulnerable. The main character is in an environment where they're vulnerable. Whether it's in that messed up ghost world or your own house. Like, how terrifying is it knowing you can't even go to your own bathroom, man, after eating curry without seeing something in there creeping towards you? 2 a.m., 2 p.m. in the day? And then you go to sleep, and like Freddy Krueger, it drags you in. Now, I'm using Nightmare on Elm Street as an example. I'm just talking so much crap about it. But I really like Nightmare on Elm Street. It's a good movie. I mean, I don't think it's amazing, but it's a good movie. It's just the way the characters were betrayed really diminished the Freddy Krueger character himself. Whereas this is like the opposite. Terrifying bad guy, good guys trying to fight back, isn't being really stupid about too much, but puts work in to get it done. And in the end, that's really all you gotta ask for these forms of entertainment. I mean, if it's a book, you want more detail and you want to really go into the mind of the character. And there is horror movies that are just popcorn flicks, and I think most of them are. That's why you watch them, isn't it? Just to chill out and get a little scared. But when you're looking for substance, I don't see why you have to look at a horror movie and just dismiss it. It's only a horror movie, Kris, don't worry. But no, it can be more than that. It can be so creepy. Brendan Fraser, his Mummy movie, where they buried the guy alive at the beginning and cut out his tongue and stuff. Dude, he's the good guy, right? I'd kill everybody too if I came back with superpowers after they did that to me. If you're all dead, lightning powers and locusts and stuff. Here, eat sand, bitch. I'd do that in a heartbeat. But the beginning part of that movie is pretty damn creepy because of how it all goes down. So it's really just a sad thing that more horror movies aren't so amazing. I mean, it's not like they're making a lot of money from them. Just barely enough to stay afloat. How many Wrong Turn movies are there? How many of them have you seen? There's like 7 sequels to every horror movie out there, and maybe you've seen 2 of them. So it's weird. Whereas video games, they show with video games that quality matters, and quality will keep a series afloat. I mean, look at Resident Evil. Look at Silent Hill. Silent Hill would still be alive today if the quality was still there and the company was still interested. It had nothing to do with anything else. If the quality was there with 4, 5, 6, 7, it would still be around today. Blood Siren, Siren Blood Curse, the Fatal Frame series. When was the last time anyone cared about the Fatal Frame games? Who played Fatal Frame 5? Who played Project 05? You know what I mean? So, I don't think you should dismiss horror movies. I think it's fun, but I think they could be, if there was effort put in, they could be treated with a lot more respect, and that would show, It's just, I feel like Hollywood's late 70s and 80s world has infected this negative look that if something is scary, it's silly, or it's worthless, or it's not meant to be taken seriously. When Japanese horror or video games from any nation have shown that when you care about something, it could be Outlast, hell, even games like Fear, a first-person shooter, has horrible, despicable moments that make your spine kind of tingle. You know, when you care about it, it's wonderful. You know, I just wanted to talk about that because I'm in that horror mood right now, and I would love if the quality came back. How many indie movies do you really want to keep watching with lazy acting? How many little indie games do you want to keep playing with lazy, or I guess low budget properties and level design, where you're like, dude, did these guys even play test their own game before they charge you $19.99 for early access? Like, how many of those games, when if the quality was there, and there's really no way to change it, because nobody listens when the quality is released, except maybe one or two studios, you know? Usually these days, the movies that do well in the horror terms is like a comedy horror, you know. But even that, classics like Army of Darkness flopped hard, and that's regarded as amazing, even though it's basically pure comedy in a scary setting. And then you got Tucker and Dale, or Dale and Tucker. But you know, whatever. I'm not trying to go on a rant about this. I just want to talk about horror for a bit, and I just wanted that to be my topic for today. Other than that, life be going well. Life been going great. I'm thankful. Thanks everybody if you watched this far. Thank you very much if you enjoyed these videos. That's cool. And you can always follow on Twitch and Patreon. Subscribe on Patreon, helps a lot. And if not, you know, that's cool too. I hate you too. It's alright. We'll have some kind of blood feud. It'll pass down to the future generations, but we're gamers at the same time, so that's unlikely to happen. Good games, nerd. Alright. This was a bit of a horror podcast ramble, but I enjoyed it. I just wanted to get some things off my chest. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Y'all cool, man. Y'all cool. Enjoy your days, alright? Bye.